Arsenal became exactly what Europe was afraid of. Don't believe me? Take a look at this.
Win, and I can sense that this year, I can feel that fire in our tummies to go and do it for sure.
Mikel Arteta has built a monster, the most complete Arsenal side in over a decade, the best defence in Europe right now, the most spectacular keeper in the Premier League, David Raya. The best centre-back pairing on the continent, William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes. In front of them, arguably the best holding midfielder in the world, Martin Zubimendi. In midfield, pure creativity and power come from Martin Odegaard.
In the middle, here's Martin Odegaard!
Eberechi Eze. And the all-action machine Declan Rice. And just when the season reaches its most important stage, Arteta gets back Kai Havertz, Gabriel Jesus, and Bukayo Saka. But the real twist, Viktor Gykeres is in the form of his life, and that changes everything.
Point to that is, no one ever said that Viktor Gykeres wasn't a good striker.
And here's the scary part. This Arsenal feels different. Arsenal has been in strong form for most of the season.
I know that they have the look. They have that look.
They could be as relentless as say Liverpool last season.
I think right now they're the ones to beat.
Yes, there have been slip-ups.
Cross to the far post. Brighter spills it, and it's off the post.
Yes, there were moments that needed fixing. But here's the reality. Arsenal are top of the Premier League. They're in the Carabao Cup final. They finished top of their Champions League group. They're still alive in the FA Cup. Could they be further ahead in the league? Probably, that's on them. However, if you zoom out and look at the full picture, this season is miles ahead of where they were just a few years ago. Back then, they were surprising everyone in a title race, but they weren't even in the Champions League. They crashed out of the domestic cups early, and when the pressure came, they fell short. Now, they look battle-tested. They have better players. They have depth. They have maturity. Arteta himself has evolved to be more experienced, more adaptable, calmer under pressure. There's a new sporting director. The academy pipeline is producing real talent. The structure around the club is sharper. Everything feels aligned. And right now they don't just look like Premier League contenders, they look like the best team in the world. Not just favourites to win the league, but genuine favourites to lift the Champions League as well. Any competition they enter, they expect to win. Throughout history, championship teams are built on defence, always. Attack wins headlines, but defence wins titles. And right now, Arsenal has the best defence in England. Even if statistically Roma might edge them in some raw numbers, the facts point to something bigger. Mikel Arteta has built arguably the most complete defensive system in world football. Arsenal this season have kept opponents under one expected goal in 29 of their 38 matches. That's 76% of their games, the highest rate across Europe's top 5 leagues. No one suffocates teams quite like Arsenal does. And that dominance shows up in clean sheets too. Kepa Arrizabalaga has kept 3. David Raya has racked up 17.
Flicks on for Minter!
That means Arsenal have shut teams out in 20 of their 38 matches, more than half the season. Yes, they've conceded 9 more times than they've allowed opponents to reach one expected goal, but that's not unusual. Defensive control doesn't mean perfection, it means consistency. Since the start of the 2023/2024 campaign, Arteta's Arsenal have conceded the fewest league goals per game of any side in Europe's top 5 divisions. This isn't a purple patch, this is a defensive identity. At the heart of it all are William Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes.
The new and improved version of Rio and Vidic. Gabriel and Saliba.
I think they're the best pairing in Europe. They both can still do a lot of what the other one can do as well, and that was one of the good things about me and Nemanja in a partnership, that it's not just one's good at something and the other's good at the other. I love the way that they play. I think yesterday, when you look at that game, Gabriel, especially defensively, second half, the blocks and stuff in the box, one was almost a penalty, his timing was perfect. And there's just an energy, and the way that Saliba celebrated Gabriel was a telling point.
They've now played 135 matches together in all competitions. In the Premier League alone, they've started 106 games together, at least 25 more than any other centre-back pairing since 2021. That's chemistry you can't fake. Their connection was instant when they first lined up together in 2022, and it has only grown stronger. Off the pitch, they're close. On the pitch, they understand each other's movements, strengths, and weaknesses instinctively. Most importantly, they can defend in any scenario. If Arsenal needs to sit deep and deal with endless crosses, they dominate the box. If they push high and leave space behind them, they have the pace and awareness to recover. It's rare to find centre-backs of that size, Saliba at 6 feet 4 inches and Gabriel at 6 feet 3 inches, who are so comfortable playing in a high line, and the physicality doesn't stop there. Declan Rice brings relentless running and brutal tackling in midfield. Jurrien Timber might be the most aggressive defender in the league. Riccardo Calafiori has the frame of a centre-back playing at left-back. Ben White, Piero Hincapié and Miles Lewis-Skelly offer intensity and composure in equal measure. Every line of the team defends with purpose, but if there is one signing who has given Arsenal true balance, the missing piece that makes them contenders for everything, it's Martin Zubimendi, and that changes the whole picture.
You want a midfielder to be able to play through the lines. You want a midfielder who's able to play through blocks and through teams, and that's exactly what he's able to do. He's able to play those hard passes. Don't get me wrong, Declan Rice is a great kind of deliverer of the ball from set pieces, from dead ball situations to free kicks. We've seen that as well. That's something he has over Caicedo. But in terms of open play, when you receive the ball under the press, can you turn and find solutions that are not the easiest to find? He's better at Declan Rice in doing that. And that's why Declan Rice plays next to Zubimendi.
Zubimendi might be Arsenal's most important signing. While everyone was screaming for a striker in the summer, Martin Zubimendi arrived quietly. And since then, he has slotted into this team like he's been there for years. When your midfield partner is one of the most expensive players in British football history, the spotlight naturally goes elsewhere. But here's the mad part. Zubimendi has played more minutes than any other Arsenal outfield player this season, with 2,360 minutes on the pitch. He's a defensive midfielder. It's not glamorous, it's not flashy. Yes, he's chipped in with 6 goals and 3 assists, but that's not why Arteta brought him in. His job is protection, structure, balance. He's the invisible glue that holds everything together. According to Opta, he leads the Arsenal squad in interceptions with 32. He also tops the team for successful passes in the opposition half with 782. He's second for tackles made with 49, third for possession won with 93, and third for total successful passes with 1,585. That's dominance without headlines.
Incredible. The execution, the timing, the way he connects with the ball, and the way the ball travels in that trajectory. Certainly he's given us a lot of positive things. His presence, his authority on the pitch.
And one player who has clearly benefited, Declan Rice, because Zubimendi takes care of the so-called dirty work of screening, reading danger, and winning second balls. Rice has been unleashed further forward. The England international already has more than half the goal contributions he registered last season. And with Arsenal competing on 4 fronts, he could easily surpass last year's total of 19. If you compare Rice's per-game numbers from 2024 to 25 to this season, the shift is obvious. Fewer purely defensive actions, more chances created, more progressive passes, more influence in the final third. That's not random, that's structural evolution. If Arsenal goes on to lift silverware this season, the added protection at the base and the freedom it has given Rice could make Zubimendi their most pivotal signing of the Arteta era. And the scary thing, his offensive contribution is starting to show up in the form of absolute screamers. There are very few holding midfielders in world football who have the offensive instincts Martin Zubimendi has. Most number 6s sit, recycle, break up play, and keep it simple. Zubimendi, he breaks lines, he attacks space. Not only that, but he smells danger in the opponent's box. His ability to glide past the midfield line is outrageous, and when he carries the ball, he doesn't just advance, he destabilises. Look at his goal against Chelsea. Inside a tight area, 2 sharp changes of pace, 2 defenders left shifting air, and suddenly he creates a tiny shooting window in a crowded box. Calm body shape, clean strike, finished like a natural centre forward. And if you give him space outside the area, forget it. His long-range shooting is thunderous. He proved that against Sunderland.
Martin Zubimendi!
He proved it again with that rocket against Nottingham Forest.
Headed away. What a strike, what a goal!
Clean contact, minimal backlift, keeper with no chance. Even rarer for a holding midfielder, he can attack the ball in the air. His headed goals against Leeds and Nottingham weren't lucky rebounds. They were timed runs, intelligent positioning, proper striker's instinct. But the most dangerous part of his game isn't the goals, it's his vision. The movement he made against Aston Villa, drifting between the 2 centre-backs with perfect timing after linking with Martin Ødegaard, was pure intelligence. He read the gap before it opened. He attacked it before anyone reacted. And the finish? even more ruthless. Zubimendi doesn't just protect Arsenal, he elevates them. Martin Zubimendi might well be Arsenal's smartest signing of the window, but if there is one player who can truly decide whether Arsenal lifts the Premier League or the Champions League, it's Viktor Gykeres. And he has woken up at exactly the right time. 2 months were enough to flip the narrative completely. The Swedish striker went from a doubted signing to one of the most feared forwards in England.
I was delighted for him when he scored his 2 goals because he's had a lot of crap on him, a lot of pressure on him, and he must have had loads of sticking him off Arsenal fans about forwards, the forwards they've had, and looking at him. And his 2 finishes yesterday, he hit them clean as a whistle. It's just disappointing to get a hat-trick.
One thing you say about him, I think you'd love to play with him.
If Gykeres is playing for, let's just say an example, of Forest now, he gets bought next year for 70-80 million because he does that horrible stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he'll chase a lost cause. He'll hold the ball up. He'll battle people.
I think as a team and a teammate, we'd love him.
Yeah.
Love him.
Up until mid-December 2025, more than 4 months after arriving at the Emirates, Gykeres' form was genuinely worrying. After his first 14 Premier League matches, he had scored just 4 goals. And 3 of those came very early in the campaign.
Ball over the top, Eze got time, pulls it across, 2-0!
The concern wasn't just the numbers, it was his presence. Against Wolves, against Club Brugge, he was almost invisible. Few touches, barely any chances. The issue wasn't that he was missing opportunities, it was that he wasn't getting into them. Pundits started questioning whether the former Sporting striker even fit into Arteta's complex positional system.
I think they got it wrong with Gykeres as well. He's going to be flopped, you know. They have to get the Sheshko. Gykeres is slow. So it's not good for Premier League.
Pressure grew as Gabriel Jesus began regaining rhythm.
Arsenal go again. Odegaard, Jesus, nice turn. Still Jesus.
And Mikel Merino was even used further forward with surprising success. The doubts were loud.
Saka to the byline and able to cut back, and that's a really good...
Then everything changed. In less than 2 months of 2026, Gykeres scored 6 Premier League goals and 8 in all competitions, becoming the top scorer in England in 2026.
Lead, you mark my words right now. That fake pump and dump thing's going to come back on the hawk come Monday,
so
right? They've already got problems in defence, right? And then he's trying to disrespect the guy.
You've got a bunch of Dragasons.
No, it's not Dragasons.
He's trying to disrespect the striker who scored the most goals in the Premier League.
The turning point, a brace in the North London derby against Tottenham in round 27. But more important than the goals was how he looked. He was touching the ball more, dropping deeper, combining, acting as a true reference point. Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher both called it his most complete performance in an Arsenal shirt.
Down the side, he was a little bit more elusive. I thought that he held it up and was quite clever at times. He was a nuisance. He did run the channels. He always works hard. I actually thought he looked leaner and fitter. And I don't know how that happens because obviously we've seen him a lot in the last few weeks, but I just thought he just looked a little bit more like he had legs and like he had a bit more power, rather than him looking a little bit sort of what would be heavy and ungainly and sort of it looking like he's running in treacle.
This wasn't incompatibility, it was adaptation. And Gykeres has improved in 3 key areas. First, link-up play. Earlier in the season, he waited inside the box. Now he drops, connects and drags centre-backs out of shape. Look at his goal against Inter Milan. After Martinelli's outrageous Trivela pass, Gykeres physically dominated both centre-backs near midfield, absorbed contact, tried linking with Saka, reacted to a loose bounce at the edge of the box, and buried it in the top corner. Strength, composure, ruthlessness. Against Tottenham, his first goal showed the same evolution. Double marked, tight space, one sharp touch to create separation, quick body adjustment, brutal finish into the corner. That's individual quality breaking structure. Even against Kairat's weaker opposition, sure, the pattern repeated. Received between 2 defenders from Havertz, held it up, shifted slightly outside the box, one clean adjustment, thunderbolt, finish. Same movement, same decisiveness. Second, positional awareness. Both goals against Tottenham came from perfectly timed movements at the edge of the box, a zone he previously struggled to exploit. Look at his second goal in detail. The moment he saw Odegaard shift, he timed his run to beat the first centre-back, then exploded past the right-back. Once he gained half a yard, he did the smartest thing possible. He pushed the ball forward to maximise separation. Inside the box, One quick left foot adjustment to set up the right. Violent strike with the inside of the foot. Vicario had no chance. Third adaptation to Premier League intensity. Moving from Portugal to England is brutal for strikers. The tempo, the physicality, the pressure. Many need months. Gykeres needed time, but now he looks fully adapted. And if this version of Gykeres continues, Arsenal doesn't just have structure, they have a finisher ready for the biggest nights. Gykeres' resurgence has come at the exact moment Arsenal's attack has become stacked. The return and goals of Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz instantly gave Arteta more firepower. No longer a one-man show, no longer predictable. Arsenal's goal sources are diverse now. Gabriel Martinelli keeps slicing defences open from the left with raw pace and direct runs into the box. Leandro Trossard remains lethal off the bench, sharp and clinical.
Early ball in, Trossard takes it down!
On the right, Bukayo Saka continues to decide games with individual brilliance. One touch, one cut inside, one finish, and it's done. Add to that Eberechi ease, operating between the lines, drifting, creating, and destabilising, and suddenly Arsenal isn't dependent on a single striker like many elite sides are. That's where Gykeres becomes highly specialised. He's a pure centre-forward, a box dominator, a ruthless finisher, a presence who can bully centre-backs, and end moves in 2 touches. Not all of Arteta's options offer that same profile. For now though, he has proven something massive. He was never incompatible. He just needed rhythm. And you heard it here. This player could change the outcome of Arsenal's season. Currently, Arteta and this squad hold their destiny in their own hands. It's March, and I genuinely can't remember the last time Arsenal looked this complete. They have the Premier League in their grip. Yes, Manchester City has closed the gap, but this City is not the 2023 machine. This version looks far closer to last season's unstable side than to that unstoppable treble team. And that same City awaits them in the Carabao Cup final. They're still alive in the FA Cup. It's still charging in the Champions League. In Europe, they face Bayer Leverkusen in the last 16. If they get through that, it's Sporting or Bodø Glimt in the quarter-finals. In the semis, Atletico Madrid, Barcelona, Newcastle or Tottenham. And the biggest relief? They've avoided Paris Saint-Germain, Liverpool, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Bayern Munich and Chelsea, all on the other side of the bracket. There are no guarantees in knockout football, but the path is favourable. The belief is real. Fans are whispering it now. Could this be the quadruple? Arsenal sits at the top of the Premier League. They're in the Carabao Cup final. They have a manageable Champions League route. Furthermore, they face League One side Mansfield Town in the FA Cup 5th round. They're favourites for the league. They're genuine contenders for the Champions League. And this team feels different. Before they cracked under pressure. Before they collapsed when it mattered most. Now, they keep fighting.